It was the next morning, but you didn't sleep the whole night. Your eyes looked puffy and tired as you kept thinking about yourself the whole night, the person you have become, a complete opposite to what you wanted to be. You didn't realize it. You thought it was okay. It was okay to sacrifice your happiness for your family, and because Tang is a nice guy whom you can trust, you thought things would be alright, but not anymore. You know you can't escape from Jungkook. After your last conversation, you realize that you lost yourself somewhere for your family's happiness, but now it's too late. You can't go back to that again because of you did. You have to break so many hearts, you will be called a disappointment. You came out of your thoughts when your phone buzzed. With trembling hands, you checked the message and your heart dropped seeing Jungkook's name. He texted you because he wanted to meet you. You didn't reply and kept the phone aside. I can't do this. I can't become selfish and disappoint so many people for my own happiness. You have to stop, Jungkook. Those things doesn't matter now. You buried your face in between your knees and let your tears fall. You remember the time when you shared your secrets with him. Within a day you became comfortable around a stranger who met you on a cruise. It was a lovely experience that you wrote down in your diary as well. You wanted to go to that place once again and hope to meet him, but things turned upside down. Then there was a knock on the door and your mother called you. Ryan, are you awake, honey? Tang is here to meet you. You quickly wiped your tears. Ryan, did you hear me? You cleared your throat as your voice became heavy with emotions. Yes, Mom, I'm up. I'll be there in 5 minutes. You were confused as why did Taeyang came to your house in the morning. You looked at the ring in your finger, reminding you that you have chosen to walk with someone you barely knew before, but still it was for your family's happiness. You were not sad but also not aware that you have sacrificed your freedom and dreams until now when Jungkook made you think of all those things once again. You went inside the bathroom to wash your face as you didn't want to show up in front of your family and Taeyang in this condition. Your phone again buzzed but you ignored it and put it on silent, although you wanted to know why he wants to meet you. You came in the living room where you saw Taeyang sitting with your parents. He looked at you when he felt your presence. She's here finally. They all turned towards you while you tried to force a smile but couldn't able to. You came near and sat on the couch beside your father. Don't know why you were feeling guilty after seeing Taeyang, as if you have done something wrong or maybe you're going to. Good morning, Ryan. He greeted you with a soft voice, but there was something different about him as well. Good morning. I'm sorry I came without informing. Oh, come on, Taeyang. You are the son-in-law of this family. This is your house as well, and you can come whenever you want. Your mother said while Taeyang looked at you, who wasn't really looking present at the moment. That's so nice of you, auntie. Actually, I took a day off today and I wanted to go out with Ryan. You looked at him while your mother smiled. That's a great idea. You guys should spend more time today now that you are getting married in a few days. I hope that's okay with you, Ryan. Your parents looked at you, so you just tried to smile and nodded. Yes, it's fine. You both sat inside the car and there was silence between both of you. Taeyang could read your expressions. Earlier you used to smile at him even if it was for a gesture of kindness, but today you just looked lost. He wondered what happened between you and Jungkook. You seem different today. Is everything okay? You looked at him, not sure how to put your feelings in words. Yes, just a bit tired, that's all. He nodded, but he knew what's going on. You don't have to be afraid of Jungkook. You slowly looked at him. If there's something going on, you can tell me. You looked at your hands, unable to meet his gaze. It's nothing, Taeyang. Taeyang's grip on the steering wheel tightened slightly, sensing your hesitation. You can share things with me, Vayan. I want to know what you like, what makes you happy. We can figure this out together, right? You gave him a weak smile but stayed silent. Taeyang's mind raced, his doubts growing stronger. He could see the distance in your eyes, the way you seemed to be holding back. In his heart, Taeyang realized that you had agreed to marry him not out of love but out of a sense of duty to your family. The thought stung, but he tried to push it aside, focusing on the hope that you could still build a future together. You said you and Junguk met in Paris. You also spent a few days together. Did you also feel the same about him and said yes to marry me when your feelings weren't even for me? Your heart dropped as you looked at him. That's not true, Taeyang. I don't think anything like that. I didn't even thought we would meet again, but now that... You suddenly stopped and Taeyang's jaws clenched. But what, Vayan? He said, looking at you while you lowered your eyes that has gone wet. If it's one-side love from Jungkook, I can handle that. But if you're also in this, I can't even fight, Vayan. You let your tears fall, thinking about future, thinking that what if your feelings betray you in the future and your heart beat for Jungkook, things won't be pleasing. I'm sorry, Taeyang. I really don't know what's happening. I swear there was nothing like that. I just don't know how things turned this way. I'm really scared of what will going to happen in the future. He looked at you for some time. Everything will be fine. If you are sure about your feelings, if you really force yourself to agree for this marriage, I'm ready to step back. You looked at him surprised. Yes, Vayan, we have been together for almost a month now, yet I don't know anything about you. But Jungkook knows your likings, disliking, what you want, your choice. When he was with you for a week, it tells a lot that I can never be the man you will ever going to open up with. You looked down as tears started to fall from your eyes. I'm sorry, Taeyang. You don't have to sorry for anything, Vayan. You just did what you felt like is good for your family. But a marriage is not a business, Vayan. I can step back now for your happiness because if my feelings grew stronger than it's supposed to be, at this moment, I might not give up, Vayan, and I don't want to hurt anyone. You looked at him and lowered your eyes as you were unable to face him. You know this is disheartening, but this is the only time where things can be better because once you got married for real, it will be a lifetime struggle. It all happened because of me. If I were being honest with myself, this would have never happened. Taeyang looked at you. He knew he lost you. After talking to Jungkook, you must have realized what you were about to do. And Taeyang was never the one you would choose if you listened to your heart. You came back home feeling exhausted and burdened by the weight of your conversation with Taeyang. The tension between you two had left you feeling drained and confused. As you walked through the door, your mother greeted you with a concerned look. Vayan, where is Taeyang? She said softly while you looked at her. He got some work so he left from outside. Oh, a Jungkook is here. Your heart dropped as soon as you heard that. Jungkook? Yes, he's waiting in your room. Before she could finish, you rushed towards your room, leaving her a little confused. When you opened the door, you found Jungkook sitting on your bed, reading your diary. Anger flared up inside you, and you rushed over, snatching the diary from his hands. He looked up at you. How dare you to read my diary? Your voice trembled with frustration while he stood up. Wow, you're looking in a terrible mood. Didn't your date with Tang went well? You put your diary inside the drawer and turned towards him. What are you doing here? I just got curious after you ignored my text and calls all day. I thought you might have changed your mind, but then I read this diary. You have preserved those memories very well. I didn't know that you wished to meet me again as well. You gulped, but you were angry, not at him but at yourself. You were blaming yourself for whatever is happening and whatever is going to happen. Why are you doing this, Jungkook? What will you get after doing all this? He took a step closer to you. I will get you and I can do anything to get you because I know that you sacrifice your dreams and passion for others and I will never let that happen. You have no right to invade my privacy like this. Jungkook looked up at you, his eyes calm but intense. I had to know what you are really feeling, Ryan. You are hiding so much. Everything was fine until you showed up. Now everything is a mess. Why can't you just leave me alone? Jungkook's eyes turned dark. Because I care about you, Ryan. And I know you care about me too, even if you won't admit it. You shook your head, tears filled up in your eyes. I'm doing this for my family. I can't just think about myself. I chose this for myself. Jungkook's eyes turned soft. He knew how much you're struggling with your own thoughts. To make others happy, you don't need to sacrifice your own happiness. What about your dreams, your desires? Running away from your feelings will only make you live your life being unhappy and lost. You looked away, unable to meet his gaze. I can't be selfish, Jungkook. I can't let my family down. Jungkook reached out and gently lifted your chin, forcing you to look at him. But what about letting yourself down? You love me, Ryan. I know you do. And I love you. We can make this work, but you have to stop running away. Everything will be fine. Just listen to your heart, Ryan. Tears streamed down your face as you felt the weight of his words. Deep down you knew he was right. You had been denying your feelings, trying to fit into a mold that wasn't meant for you. How can I step back now? How can I break their hearts? I betrayed them. I'm a terrible person, you said, dropping on the bed while Jungkook came near you and sat kneeling down in front of you. You are not a terrible person, Ryan. You are the most amazing person I have ever met. I saw a shine in your eyes when I first met you. They attracted me when I first saw you. I could not stop thinking about you after that time. You have no idea how amazing you are. Don't let that person suffer, Ryan. There's other ways to help. You don't have to sacrifice your happiness. You looked at him, your eyes red and teary. Jungkook's heart ripped seeing your sight in front of him. But it's too late for that. How can I tell them that? He gently cupped your face and made you look at him. It's not late, Ryan. If they care about you and love you the same way as you do, they will understand. They will put your happiness first. Don't be scared of doing what you want. It won't be easy if you stayed silent now. I love you, Ryan, and I'm with you. Just listen to your heart. But it's only a few days left for the marriage. How can I? He looked in your eyes, giving you strength. Even if it was the day of marriage, you still have the right to choose your happiness. You burst into tears while he hugged you. His warm embrace gave you comfort. You felt so like yourself, as if the inner you wants to come out. He made you realize how blindly you were ready to sacrifice everything to make your family happy. I'm scared. I'm really scared, Jungkook. I don't know what's right. He caressed your hair. Don't be scared. I'm here for you. Till my last breath. The next day, both families gathered together in the living room. The atmosphere was tense, and you could sense that something significant was about to happen. Your parents were chatting seriously, completely unaware of the storm that was brewing. You and Jungkook walked into the room, your heart pounding in your chest as you were nervous and confused. Taeyang was already there, sitting quietly with a serious expression on his face. His parents exchanged glances and then his father cleared his throat, drawing everyone's attention when they noticed you and Jungkook. I think it's time to burn all the curiosity. The reason why I asked to gather together is because Taeyang has shared something with us and it needed to be discussed. You looked at Taeyang, whose face held no emotions. Your parents looked at each other in confusion and you felt your stomach twist with anxiety. What was happening? Mr. John continued. We were surprised to learn that Ryan and Jungkook have already met and have feelings for each other. This was unexpected for us, and I'm sure it's a shock to everyone here. Gasps and murmurs of disbelief filled the room. Your parents stared at you, their eyes wide with surprise. You felt a wave of shock wash over you as well, not expecting Taeyang to support your feelings. Taeyang stood up while his face was serious. It's true, Ryan and Jungkook met a few years ago and fell in love. I didn't know about this until recently, but I believe it's important to support their feelings. Your mother looked at you, her eyes searching for answer. Ryan, is this true? You looked at Jungkook, who gave you a nod. He was with you in whatever comes, tears welling up in your eyes. Yes, mom, it's true. Jungkook and I met during a trip a few years ago. We fell in love, but I never expected things to turn out this way. Everyone was in shock and disbelief. You looked down. We understand that this is a difficult situation. The engagement between Taeyang and Ryan was already announced and many people know about it, but given the circumstances, we believe that it's best for Ryan and Jungkook to be together. You looked up, surprised as you didn't believe that they actually understood things. You knew Taeyang was behind all this. Your father's face was a mix of confusion and concern. But what about the engagement? What will people say? Mrs. John replied. Her tone was gentle but firm. It was a difficult situation for all of us. We didn't know that the one Ryan actually loved is Jungkook and not Taeyang. But we'll handle it. It's more important that Ryan and Taeyang are happy. We can't force them into a marriage that isn't right for them. Your parents exchanged worried glances, but then your mother sighed and nodded. If this is what will make Ryan happy, then we will support it. You felt a wave of relief wash over you. Taeyang stepped forward. He was trying to look happy for you. I want you to be happy, Ryan. If being with Jungkook is what you want, then you have my support. He looked at Jungkook, who was standing beside you. Thanks, Jung, for understanding things. Jungkook was happy that his brother actually understood the thing instead of forcing you to marry him. So it's decided. Instead of Taeyang, Ryan and Jungkook will get married. We will explain the situation to everyone and make sure it's handled properly. You felt a sense of calm settled into you. This actually made you happy. You realize how it feels when you get what you want. Thank you so much, he said, looking at Taeyang. He smiled. Anything for you, Ryan. I didn't want to become the person who took away your freedom and happiness. I always want to see you smiling. You looked down and nodded, trying to control your tears. The wedding day finally came. As you walked down the aisle, each step felt like a step towards freedom. The weight that had been pressing on your shoulder for so long began to lift. The aisle was lined with flowers, their fragrance filling the air, and the faces of friends and family turned to watch you, their expressions a mix of surprise, joy, and approval. Your parents stood near the front, their eyes brimming with pride. They had been worried about the sudden change, but seeing you so radiant and confident eased their concern. Mr. and Mrs. John were beaming, their approval clear as they watched their youngest son about to marry the love of his life. And there, at the end of the aisle, stood Jungkook. He looked handsome in his suit, his hair perfectly styled, but it was the look in his eyes that made your heart race. He was smiling, his gaze fixed on you with such intensity and love that it took your breath away. It was as if the whole world had melted away. When you reached the altar, Jungkook took your hand in his touch warm and reassuring. His smile widened as he whispered, You look beautiful. Tears of joy sparkled in your eyes as the ceremony began. The words of the officiant seemed to float around you, a gentle background to the beating of your heart. You exchange vows, promising to love, honor, and cherish each other for the rest of your lives. With each word, you felt a new sense of freedom and possibility. When it came time to exchange rings, Jungkook slid the band onto your finger. You did the same, your hand trembling slightly with emotion. As you looked into his eyes, you saw your future reflected there, a future filled with love, support, and endless possibilities. You may now kiss the bride. Jungkook smiled at you and leaned in, his lips meeting yours in a kiss that was tender and full of promise. Applause and cheers erupted around you, but all you could focus on was the feeling of his lips on yours, the connection between you two solidifying in that moment. Tang stood with a bittersweet expression. His eyes followed you, filled with a mix of sadness and acceptance. He had imagined himself in Jungkook's place, marrying you and building a future together. But as he watched you with his brother, he saw the genuine love and happiness between you two and knew that it was meant to be this way. You looked at Jungkook as you walked back down the aisle together, hand in hand. You realized that this is the real feeling of freedom and happiness. Jungkook was the best choice for you, and you were grateful for everyone who supported you. Jungkook looked at you as he saw tears in your eyes. He turned towards you. Now these tears have no place here, love. You are with me and I'll make sure you never get these tears in your eyes. He said, wiping off your tears and kissing your forehead. Your parents realized that they did the right thing to accept your and Jungkook's relationship. He is your true happiness.